Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the TTV Podcast, episode 320. I'm Messa.
And I'm Eljay.
And that's all, folks! That's all we got!
That's it. We're the only two here.
This is incredible. Has there ever been a TTV Podcast with two people before?
I believe there has been. I'm not sure which one, but I'm pretty sure. Let me double check before I put my foot in my mouth.
Cool. It's only temporary, but even so, we gotta savor this moment for all that it's worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone else is kind of like either asleep, or on vacation, or disinterested, or traveling, or blah 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 blah.
Yep.
So it's just us. I'm sure I could probably message Fwef or X.
I'm
Oh wait,
sure
no, I
you're-
can't because Fwef's working.
Yeah. All right. Let me see.
Fwef's working and X is probably otherwise incapacitated at the moment.
Let's see here.
You're actually looking it up? Cool.
Yeah. It keeps on. I keep on putting in 2 because it's the quickest way to find out something. You just Control F, 2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have all the years listed as well, and they start with a 2, so it's just keying in on all the 2s. So let me see.
Rest in peace, the two-man show. Hello, Var.
Oh, wow, that didn't last very long.
Wah, wah, wah.
we savored it about as long as we could.
Yep, the savoring.
We
How are you doing, man? Are you getting sick?
Yeah. It's not really like the sick. It's more of like I think I ate something kind of sick.
Oh no.
Well, what do you think you ate?
I don't know, but I got a leaky butthole.
I did not need that information, okay? Nothing about what you just said was information I needed in my life, Var. Not today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, in my entire freaking life! You keep that information to yourself!
My God.
Listen,
Well,
I'm suffering. If I have to
That's
suffer, so do you.
Yeah,
that's
there's
not how that works. Not in this instance. Babe.
Unacceptable. All right, so there has never been a TTV podcast episode with just 2 people. There has been Brickfeed. There have been Brickfeed episodes with 2 people, but never TTV. And there still won't be because Var's here
Yep.
Yuck.
with that
right.
unfortunate information.
Supreme negative bueno.
Serious.
So just a little bit of a little precursor. Var doesn't feel great. LJ stayed up all night, and I got like 5 hours of sleep, but I'm in that weird shake yourself awake period where I sound kind of dead to the world. So this is gonna be an interesting podcast.
Dude, out of everyone, I sound the best, easily.
You do, which is funny.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, I got
Yes.
a cup of coffee, less than half of a cup of coffee, a cup of water, and I just had some delicious oatmeal, Meso. That's meal made out
Oatmeal
of oat.
sucks.
Okay,
Oatmeal is trash.
I can go both ways. I can go either way on oatmeal. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, you know what? Oatmeal's good. It's real good. And this was some good oatmeal. And sometimes I'm like, I've had too much oatmeal.
I detest mushy things.
Really?
So,
Then you ought to stay away
yeah.
from your Twitter.
but I
I
love it.
I got him.
I detest mushy foods.
There you go.
If it's not like solid and dry af, then I'm probably not gonna want to eat it. Or burnt to a crisp. That's another one. But yeah. So how's everyone's week been since our last podcast? Var, it's been 2 weeks since the audience has seen you. How are you doing?
I don't think
How
anything's really-
have you been doing?
I don't think anything's really changed since the last time I was there.
Feels bad. We're doing our new exciting secret Let's Play. That's going well.
But
Yeah.
that's not secret. Everybody on Patreon knows about it.
No.
If you want to know about the Let's Play, join the Patreon chat at patreon.com/TTV channel for his little.
Oh, are we actually live?
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
That's why we said we didn't need that information bar. We are streaming. You said that 5 minutes into our 2-man show.
My God. What a catastrophe. Oh, boy.
We started.
Well, hey, everybody at YouTube.
Oh, God.
We all got a little bit closer today, haven't we?
I don't want to be
More
closer
than
to
we
you right
want.
now.
More than we would want.
We are an entire country apart, and I don't even want to be this close.
Oh, we're all friends here.
Alright.
I do
Eljay,
actually.
what about you?
Oh, what?
What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was gonna agree with Prentice in the patron chat. It's definitely a top 10 TTV moment, which reminds me, over on TTV message boards, we got a topic up right now: top 10 TTV moments of 2019. So make your submissions there. Just definitely do that. And I'm not saying this because it's
agree.
getting very few posts. I'm definitely not saying that for that reason.
I mean, no one cares, it's still 2019.
I mean, fair, but I gotta remind everyone every now and then.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels kind of early for thinking about top 10 moments, but I guess it has been about half a year now.
Yeah, we're coming up
Eljay
on
likes
half
to
a
get
year.
the ball rolling early.
Yeah, well, okay, no, actually, I kind of sort of did not. It was recommended at some point by someone somewhere in some universe that we should have it running all year long instead of close to the end of the year, which is how I usually ran it. I usually ran it closer to the end of the year after everything was kind of wrapping up. Then it was recommended we have it run all year long. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to remind everyone it exists.
Fair enough.
There you go. Oh, by the way, if the stream cuts
Yes.
out, do know it's not because we wanted it to. It's because my Ethernet cable is broken. I've got a new one literally in my city right now, but I'm not able to pick it up. So if it cuts out, it'll be back in like 2 minutes. So just a preemptive heads up.
And
See,
please
this is
actually-
why I didn't realize we had started yet, because I thought we were waiting on Mange to get here.
That was the assumption, but he pulled a massive delay out of his hat.
Okay.
Well, he's not going to be happy if you're saying that.
Some magicians pull rabbits, Mange pulls massive delays.
This isn't going to end well. Also, okay.
Alamo.
Hey, I'm unmuting to say screw you, dude. I gave a fair heads up. I probably wouldn't be there on time, and you're depending too much on me for it.
You gave an inconvenient heads up.
my God.
So you asked who was going to be on the podcast at like 4:05 a.m.
I didn't even ask, Eljay.
Okay, come on. Who should be hosting this
even
meso,
worse.
huh?
Me?
I mean, you have our software.
Listen.
3:05. Correction. 3:05 a.m. was the time in which who's going to be on the TTV podcast was actually asked to the public or to everybody there in the chat. So
This is true.
And I said right at the bat it would be inconvenient for me to be there.
Inconvenient does not mean impossible.
Oh my,
my God.
gosh.
oh my god.
Are you sitting here with the freaking reality stone? Reality can be whatever I want.
Exactly.
Ugh.
For what it's worth, I appreciate you, man.
Also-
Slightly less now, but still on the whole.
You're such
Yeah,
a
well, screw
jerk.
you. I was hanging out with friends, and I had to leave early so I can show up sort of late to this.
Isn't that a paradigm shift to leave early to show up sort of late?
Meso,
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Man, you really just making enemies.
really?
I'm just messing, man. I'm just messing. Come on.
10 years for this.
Adventures in messing and mange.
Holy crap.
At least you could sort of be here. That's cool. You've been able to unmute and stuff.
This is true.
I'm Tenebrae Invictus. No, I'm kidding.
I guess I should put your avatar
We
up.
should make an envy bot. Just
Agreed.
like all the recorded. What would an envy bot even consist of?
Not freaking funny. We already had time to play Dota. Oh, they need the
Why are
laugh.
you such a
They need the
jerk
laugh.
today?
They need the laugh, Elder.
Messo's out of good material, so he has to resort to insulting me.
Yeah.
My verbal pinata needed replacing.
Wow. That would imply that Meso actually had material to begin with.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
me.
You are excused.
I'm gonna agree with Samuel Wilder in the YouTube live chat. Meso needs to be canceled.
Yes, agreed. Also,
I do not support cancel culture.
shout out to all the people who chanted Chocolate Rain. Yes.
Okay,
I
nope,
understand my plight.
nope,
Oh my god.
no, you're done with that. Another comment I'd like to mention is Diggy in the patron chat, who said, "LJ, just go to a store, you buffoon," in reference to my Ethernet cable. You're the buffoon, Diggy!
That's what I
Okay.
said. I was like, don't you have like you surely have to have a Best Buy or something somewhere.
Well, first of all, no, I do not.
Yeah, you can go to a Walmart. They have Ethernet cables at Walmart.
The problem is they're super. This is something I learned many years ago. Ethernet cables will always be twice as expensive in the store as opposed to buying them online.
Okay, but like we're talking about like twice as expensive by like it's like $4. Like it's like $8.
Mm,
It's twice.
At
It's twice
Target,
the convenience.
at Target, we do have the mainline Ethernet cable brands, that are on the back wall of electronics that are like, $13, $14, $18. But then we have knockoff brands, which is what you would buy online anyway from a place like Amazon for like $5. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like
your
that's-
mileage may vary.
Like you can get like a name brand one, but you can also just not do that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good to know for next time, if there's a next time.
There will be a next time at some point.
Well,
in your
surely
life.
there will be a next time.
I hope there's
Yeah.
a next time.
Maybe you'll need an HDMI cable or some other kind of cable. I can't think of any cable you would actually need. Other than
Haley asks, but how far does he need to go to get to the nearest store? Half the state? A different state?
It's a good question.
I mean, probably the first one. Probably half the state. I'm in the middle of nowhere, guys. It's
Oh my god.
there's nothing out here.
Why would you do this to yourself?
Life is full of many mysteries. I
Oh
got
my
no good
God.
answer.
Many mysteries indeed. Did you guys see all like the pictures I posted of my like experience at work today?
Oh,
I
Yes.
skimmed it.
I
Okay,
did.
cool. It's a series of, well, not really a series of unfortunate events. It's a nice little tale that's wrapped up in just like a few sentences. I thought was kind of funny. I went into work and someone was like, did you hear that Epic Games is hiring? And by the way, if anyone's wondering where I work at a UPS facility where I load the trucks for package distribution, that kind of thing. And I walk into work and someone asked me if I had heard that Epic Games was hiring, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," because like Epic Games is just down the street, so I'm gonna think about putting my application in there. That'd be cool.
Dang.
But then, as I'm loading my truck, I noticed that okay, this is like the 10th monitor I've picked up now to put in here. What's going on? Where is this all going? And I check the little the address where it's going, and I notice that it says Epic Games on it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then I looked down the belt at all the things coming and see that it's all on my side, and then I noticed that it's all a bunch of monitors and computers, and like 60 monitors later, my truck is just completely filled with computers. And it was,
May I post the picture here?
oh yeah, go for it.
Behold. That is a lot of computers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not
No, just look at that. Notice how there is 0 packages on the other side of the belt, and that they're all on my side because that they're all going to me.
It's a sign, dude. You need to follow them. Go to Epic Games.
Go to Epic Games, yeah. Some very nice new monitors Epic Games currently has in their little
Listen,
whatever.
it's all that freaking Fortnite cash. They can buy monitors.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean,
The Epic Games Store versus the Steam Store has been my favorite controversy of 2019.
has it
Oh,
been,
is there a
though?
controversy right now?
Yes, there's a controversy. In general, TLDR, Epic Games Store is a Steam competitor, which is kind of trash. It's in early days. It doesn't have a lot of functionality, blah, 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 but they pay their people a bigger cut than Valve does because Valve underpays developers the portions for revenue. I don't know exactly by how much, but Epic gives them substantially more, probably because they have more money to work with, which has led to a slew of video games which have become Epic Store exclusives when they come to PC, which force you to use their ecosystem over Steam because the developers get better compensated for it, which some people agree with and say this is cool. Others are like, don't force us into using an inferior service. We like Steam. And that's been going on for like 6 months. And it's really interesting. What I find cool about it, kind of, is it's basically a console war, but on PC. That's basically what it is. We've regressed back to exclusivity. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's a bit kind of redundant, superfluous, because we have. Okay, from my perspective, it's superfluous because I don't use all of these different varied functionalities from either Steam or Epic. Okay, I don't use Epic at all, so I don't really know how it is. But like Origin, Uplay, I just boot them up to boot up games. That's it. That's all I use them for. I don't know what anyone else is using them for. Just get Discord. Your problems are solved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of feel similarly. I don't really understand why these like multiple marketplaces even really need to exist. Honestly, I didn't really understand Steam at the time, and I still don't really get the point of Steam, other than being like a place to buy video games. But beyond that,
Yeah, it's a hub. That's its benefit.
Which is it's fine if there's a single hub, but then when you have a bunch of different hubs, it's like, all right.
I agree.
No, I don't really understand the point of this.
Yeah,
it was a lot easier before when you just installed the game and it was just on your desktop and you clicked it and you played it.
I liked that a lot. I feel like the
I
switch
think I
was really
prefer
made
that.
when people started leaning away from physical media.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Embrace your
said would
digital
be a
overlord.
mistake.
That's true. You're right. That's when the switch really did happen because that's when they introduced Steam. Before that, you would have to actually go to like a retail store and get a physical disc and stuff.
I really liked that. I liked the simplicity.
And
of
the age
put a
is
disc in.
long since gone by.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is the people who just have this really like vitriolic hatred towards the Epic Games Store, and will do anything to like destroy them, like boycott games that are exclusives there. Like Borderlands 3 is a 6-month exclusive to Epic Games Store, and there's like riots about it. Like, do not buy this game, do not support Epic, do not support this trash. All the Sony Quantic Dream games are coming to PC, but it's Epic Games Store exclusive. So Heavy Rain, that whole lot. A lot of new games have timed exclusivity, and it's interesting. It's like I walked into a freaking time machine, and I'm back like 10 years ago, and people arguing about which exclusives are better. And,
Yeah, but
which is better.
this is a little stupider because you don't actually have to put any money into like this exclusivity. Like the reason console exclusives were stupid was because you actually had to buy a whole console to play a game. You were locked out of that game if you didn't own that console. Whereas here, it's as simple as just clicking download on another program. It's going to take you like an extra 10 minutes of effort, and once you have it, you have it. You don't need to get it again. So
Unsourced claims by Peel.
It's not really.
He says Epic Games Store is spyware, and then Epic overworks their workers. I can't attest to either of those things.
Well,
so
I mean-
basically, no. So the issue is that Tencent Games, a big Chinese corporation, has like 40% of the shares in Epic, and so there's some fear mongering, unsubstantiated claims, but some, well, I mean, slightly substantiated, but not like hard evidence that there's a lot of like data collection going on with the Epic Games launcher.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
Okay, that's not epic.
that is not epic. If true. If true.
If true, I understand the concern. That makes sense, I suppose.
Now, how long has that been? Like,
the whole like don't support it because they overwork their workers thing is, I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to find any AAA studio that's making video games at this point that isn't overworking their workers.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's basically like just don't support video games in general because that industry is what is causing that to happen.
This is true.
So as far as that point is concerned, it's like, yeah. But if they actually are collecting evidence, then that's collecting information, that is no good. That's why Huawei
I
is
think
going
there's
down,
also
right?
some just security issues in general with the thing. Like Peel mentioned, somebody requested their data, it went to someone else.
What in the world?
Yeah, there's a lot of like vulnerabilities from what I've read, like just going on specific subreddits about game discussion.
Interesting. Wow. Matthew Griffith in the chat is saying there is evidence of them accessing personal files without asking permission too, which is really interesting.
See, like, yeah, with all that money they have, especially with the incentivization of games, there's no reason they can't fix these security loopholes.
Yeah, that's
So
a
fair
reason
enough.
I wouldn't use it. I mean, the other reason being there are no games on the Epic Store that I would ever play. Var, you and I tried. We tried to play Fortnite once. and just
we hated Fortnite.
hated it. Gosh,
Yeah.
I did not like that game.
It's completely miserable.
What building?
Yeah.
There was that one other like a Paragon or whatever I think was what it was called.
Oh,
we also
yeah.
tried to play. So we
Oh yeah!
Meso kept telling me he'd
Meso's
play.
favorite game.
I love Paragon, dude.
Yeah, not
we
enough to
literally
play it one more
everybody got
time.
that game. We opened it. We looked at the characters, and then we never touched it again.
Eljay and I played a few rounds.
Yeah.
We didn't play a single friggin' game. Well, you guys might have, but I didn't play a single friggin' game.
That's very upsetting because Paragon has like one of my favorite characters in like all of media design wise.
No.
It's very depressing that game is gone.
Not enough, I guess.
Behold, Revenant.
Didn't ever play that one last game, buddy.
He is McCree plus Reaper, so I dubbed him McCreeper.
Meso,
They're a data
I
business that
dubbed him
doesn't
that.
collect data for business.
I think I dubbed him McCreeper.
I definitely know that I dubbed him that.
Where's your evidence?
Where's your evidence?
I said it first.
Yeah, duh.
That certainly sucks if that's the case. That is strange. It's hard to really justify that. That's that is the same reason that Huawei is going down, right? Because weren't they also collecting information for like the Chinese government or something? So
Who is?
Huawei, like the
Huawei,
phone
like
company.
the phone company.
Yeah, there's this big thing right now that the U.S. has like
Imposed a trade ban on it.
Yeah, imposed a trade ban on the company,
And a lot of other countries are kind of like following suit with it.
Yeah, so no U.S. companies are actually legally allowed to do business with Huawei, which was this extremely booming phone company. For instance, they are currently above Apple in terms of growth, right under Samsung, as actual like profit or whatever. So they're a really big company, and they've been booming all over the place. I'm surprised you haven't heard of them.
I don't know.
So now there's this whole thing where Google, who was previously working with them, can no longer actually legally work with them since they're a U.S. company, which means they've had to take back the license to Android, which is a pretty big deal for Huawei because they're an Android phone. Which means they now need to completely redesign, the software aspect
I
of
see
their
the wrinkle.
Yes.
phone and create their own OS essentially.
Yeah, because they can only use the public Android OS, and that doesn't have too many features. There's a lot of like installed Google things that can't automatically update now on the whatever version of Android that they have.
So, and this is a big deal because Huawei's been selling phones, at a booming rate to U.S. customers, two different customers from around the globe too. So there's a lot of people here who just bought this really nice Huawei phone, who are now kind of screwed because they just got this phone, which is now no longer going to be supported at all in terms of being updated, because it's an
Yeesh.
Android phone, and none of the services are going to legally be able to work on it. Like, think about all the major apps that are US based that will no longer be able to
Just
be.
all of a sudden completely incompatible.
Well, I don't remember if it said that pre-existing, like currently owned ones, will be suffering from it, or just ones in the future. I don't remember. I
Do know there's
again.
they've got like a month as well to like implement any changes. I don't know if that's going to help in any regard,
That's
but
crazy.
like that's like Snapchat, that's like Instagram.
Neither of those things are any good anyway, so not a huge loss.
Well, I saw like a diagram of all the apps that Huawei would be able to actually legitimately have on their app store, and it was basically just TikTok. So
I mean, that's
Oh my
clearly all
gosh.
they need. They can live off TikTok.
yeah.
Just make
So-
TikTok expansions.
Now in the
Yeah.
US, it's not that big of a deal so much, because here they're like, you can resell your phone, you can return your phone, you can trade it in for another phone, that kind of thing. There's a bit of some lenience there in terms of, getting stuck with this phone that you just bought. But I actually follow a cosplayer in Poland, and there is no like return policy for like products like that. So she
Yikes.
just bought this phone, and it's basically non-functioning after, like from this month onwards. So, and there's no way to get the money back.
That is a worst case scenario right
Yeah.
there. My God. All right. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that over here.
hmm
Yikes.
According to Diggy, they've already been banned for sale in the U.S. for a while. I didn't know that.
I mean, when
Yeah,
was the
but
last
it's-
time
I'm
you
sorry.
saw a Huawei phone?
Well, I mean, I feel like I just saw like a review, like a tech review of it, of a Huawei phone. I could be wrong. I know there was.
I see ads for it like all over here. Obviously not
Yeah.
in the U.S., but still.
Well, yeah, I'm
pretty
talking
big
like
here.
you walk into a store, you see one in a display case. In the States.
Probably.
You might though. I don't know if you do or not. I haven't looked specifically for the brand. Because
I've never
I know Huawei was also one of those pioneers pushing for the foldable phone. So like there was the Samsung foldable phone that they did that had its own big controversy. But they also had their own that was going to be coming out soon that apparently was way better, according to a lot of tech giants. So it was going to be like a big deal that can now no longer be sold, basically.
Oh, God.
Hmm.
Well,
See,
that is a little dicey.
I don't
Okay,
understand
so
why people are-
Diggy clarified. He said in the patron chat, people like MKBHD, which is actually the reviewer that I watched, who did the review. So this really does clarify. People like that review Huawei and Xiaomi phones, but they do not officially sell them here by a phone carrier. You have to import them. So interesting. There you go, right there. So yeah, MKBHD was the guy that I saw actually do a review on the phone. So interesting.
I'm very glad I don't
Well.
have a major vested interest in cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Never
mean, like,
evolving world, that's for sure.
well, here's the thing. Imagine it from like a consumer perspective, though, because like, especially someone who isn't vestedly interested in phones, right? You're just walking into a store and you pick up a phone that you think is going to be a good deal for you. It looks nice. It performs
make
well.
no
it's-
mistake. For all these other countries, it's awful. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. That is terrible. It's one of a variety of reasons. The list keeps growing longer and longer daily. That I'm very, very happy I live stateside. But but like at the same time, I'm the kind of person who I would just go back to a flip phone. Like, just not
Yeah,
think
wow.
about it ever since.
I don't know, like it's just like imagine like going to a store getting the latest iPhone and then suddenly finding out that Apple is being blocked from releasing anything or partnering with any other company in the U.S. and that the phone that you just purchased will basically be non-functioning.
Oh yeah, no,
That's crazy to me.
That's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So.
It is not Washway.
Okay.
Wow.
That.
Okay.
Okay, Meso is confirmed canceled.
Yeah, we're canceling. We are canceling Meso.
We're canceling the apocalypse.
I've never seen that movie, by the way.
We should remedy that. It's a good movie.
You should. Yeah, that one is.
Yeah.
Not the sequel.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but awful things about the sequel.
Feels bad.
I think I've seen someone say like with all those tiers coming out, Orion like ranked Pacific Rim Uprising at the bottom, and somebody was like, "You ranked it an F." So
Okay.
there's one fan out there.
So Orion, for anyone who's unaware, Orion is a member of another LEGO channel, the BCC. He's a funny guy, except for when he comes over to my
Inferior
house.
channel.
Okay,
Wow.
They are our friends. Var, you're going to be meeting them in a few months.
90% off discount TTV.
So,
Yeah. And he's also an inferior Tahu for the win. Kopaka for the lose.
okay, yeah. So Orion made this has been a recent trend, these tier lists. Just resume. Come on, fight the power.
I have no
Yes.
idea what's going on.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, the stream went offline.
All right.
Okay. there we go.
We're saved. It didn't go out long enough to cancel the stream, but I've
Yeah, it looks
resumed.
like it only went out for like half a second. So nice.
Wonderful.
Awesome. All right. Anyway, so
LJ fighting the power.
I really had to have a power moment there. So tier lists, they're a big thing, and Orion actually started a Twitter trend, a trending hashtag about a week ago, and it was hashtag Toy Story 2, and it's because of his very controversial Pixar film tier list, and I'm gonna bring it up and show it to you guys. Because I'm very
wonderful.
curious as to what you think about it. I'll go ahead and post this here.
So many
say?
people got offended over this.
Haley, get that trash tier list out of here. No. Let's say. I can agree with Incredibles being first. Ratatouille, WALL-E, and Toy Story 2 are all solid picks. I have not seen Inside Out. The original Toy Story is definitely average and very dated. Up should be higher. Incredibles 2 I haven't seen. Toy Story 3 should be higher.
There we go.
Everything else.
Everybody was getting mad about the F list, like especially Coco. People were rating Cars a lot higher for some
No.
reason.
No. Cars 3 is higher. Cars 3 is at least a B. The others are fine. Cars 3 is a really good movie.
I would put it at a C plus.
I mean, fair. It's better than F. Yeah, I mean, I agree with pretty much all that to a degree, except Coco and Cars 3.
See,
Mostly fine.
this is why
I think people are more than allowed to have their own opinion, even if sometimes it's a little irritating that they don't agree that something is good.
this is why I'm very glad that I'm not super in the film, because none of this I necessarily disagree with. At the same time, some of this I don't really have a whole lot of reference for. Like a lot of these movies I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen Incredibles 2. I haven't seen Monsters University. I haven't seen Finding Dory. I've seen one of the Cars movies, the first one. I haven't seen Coco. I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur, and I haven't seen Brave.
So what I'm getting is that you've seen a lot of the old startup films, but like very few of the sequels, and very few of the newer startup films.
Yeah, basically. Like all of them are
Alright, that's
fine.
fair.
All of them are they're totally they're cool.
Have
But-
you seen Up?
I've seen Down.
Yeah, I've seen Up.
Amazing.
And, Up's a good movie.
It's funny because like this tier list starts off really like agreeable. It's like all the stuff that he has is like, yeah, Toy Story 2 A, sure, Wall-E A, sure, Incredibles S, yeah, absolutely. And then you get further down and it's like, wait a minute. Finding Nemo an F? What?
Yeah,
Coco?
F for
F?
finding.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that,
Really, it's just I think it's just Finding Nemo and Coco that I would raise up. Everything else can kind of stay where it is.
Like Toy Story 1 is the worst of the 3 Toy Story movies. Like we can agree on that.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I would say because of just how aged it is.
It's very aged, and the other 2 plots are like way more nuanced.
Toy Story
So-
1's basically a glorified tech demo.
It's essentially. So I would definitely like swap that out with one of the other better movies. Finding Nemo definitely deserves to go up a tier or 2
At
or
least. Yeah, I think you could at least put it on C.
3. Yeah.
I would personally put it on A or S, to be honest. I really like Finding Nemo, but I can understand maybe not thinking it's the best one. So, sure, I get C. I can agree with C. But F, come on now. Come on. It's not F tier.
100%.
Coco is definitely not F tier either. Though I could definitely understand Coco being lower for people who are used to movies. Like, if you watch movies, Coco is a really...
It's
obvious
really
movie.
cliched. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very.
it's
all the
cliches,
twists
yeah.
are very obvious.
that's basically
it
a
looks
lion.
cool. There's not enough visual redemption for how I think Haley tries to make a case for how good it looks, but that's not visual redemption's not a thing for me with Coco.
I think it is important sometimes to consider that these movies are marketed primarily towards children. So for a lot of people, Coco is going to be the trend, like the cliche setter. Like this is going to be their first experience with a lot of these cliches. And therefore, the quality of the film for them is going to increase substantially compared to someone like us who've seen these cliches done. So,
Haley says, "Oh come on, the world of the dead is gorgeous."
Looking good does not automatically make it better. Like
Oh.
good,
Yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
I would put it maybe like a C minus. Honest.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the case, The Last Jedi would be like the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah. The Last Jedi would be a 10 out of 10 if we were going by the visuals redeeming a bad plot.
So,
I
Tooth
apologize,
Dominoes
Deep
asks.
Tenaglia. He doesn't know what he says.
This is true. D. Tenaglia is Tooth Dominoes asks, I don't get it. Where's Shrek? That's another list that he made.
Yeah, he does have a DreamWorks one.
He does.
Oh, does he?
Let me go
Let me
ahead and
see
get
this.
it real fast.
We'd have Orion on the podcast.
TTV talks about Orion.
I think
DreamWorks
Orion,
is an interesting one because like I could go back and forth on a lot of those films because none of them are really like spectacular. Like Disney,
Meanwhile, I could go
Pixar.
back and forth on them because I think I've seen like 3 of them.
Here we go. All right.
Really?
So here is his DreamWorks tier list.
Okay, yeah, the only ones out of these I've seen are the first 2 Shreks and the first 2 How to Train Your Dragon.
All right,
So-
let me see here. Okay, so How to Train Your Dragon definitely S tier. Kung Fu Panda, huh? Now I've seen Kung Fu Panda. It's zero impression on me. I don't remember a single thing about it. So that's an interesting placement. I wouldn't put it there, but I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. Shrek 2, yeah, absolutely S tier. Absolutely. Megamind, I would put lower. Chicken Run, I hated Chicken Run. Are you kidding me?
What? You don't like Chicken Run? We can't be
God.
friends anymore.
I absolutely despised
I-
Chicken
I
Run.
would
Love
say
Chicken Run.
nostalgia is a driving factor for me liking it more.
Dude.
don't know.
I honestly,
It's
I
been a long time.
can't stand that freaking art style that they use. For
Oh,
that. Like that
no.
art's
Aw.
flushed away, and Wallace and Gromit. I can't stand that art style.
Ah, man. See, I kind of agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Wallace and Gromit, but Chicken Run, I make the exception because it's a freaking funny movie.
All right. How to Train Your Dragon 2 and A is good. I don't really remember most of these movies, Megamind or Kung Fu Panda 2. I've seen them, but I don't remember them. Chicken Run.
Oh
should
yeah,
go
Rise of the
lower.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That one's an awesome one.
B, Shrek. Really, Prince of Egypt only B. Interesting.
Only B.
I think Prince of Egypt is a fantastic freaking movie.
Prince
I have-
of Egypt.
I've never I've never seen that movie.
That was awful.
It's dated for sure. I think going back and watching it, I watched it recently, and the animation techniques don't hold up as well as they did back then. But I think overall, it's a very, very entertaining movie. I would put it at least A. Well, not at least. I would put it at A. It's not an S movie for sure, but I think A is good. Sinbad is B. Yeah, Sinbad can stay where it is.
Never seen that
I
either.
haven't seen that one in ages either.
El Dorado, B. Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah,
Never saw Puss in Boots.
nor have I.
Honestly, Madagascar would go in D. I hate anything Madagascar related.
I've never seen a Madagascar movie before.
Holy crap! I forgot
Dear
Spirit.
goodness, LJ.
I forgot Spirit even
I haven't either.
existed.
I've seen like
Oh,
3 of these
man.
movies.
Flushed Away, I've got like a weird kind of like nostalgia for.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
I-
Okay, all right.
I remember liking it as a kid, but I don't remember much.
This is the major disagreement I have with this list. Over the Hedge is just smash dash, either right in B or right in A. It is not
I
D level
agree.
movie.
I agree. I loved Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge is a phenomenal film. I love that movie.
I really, really liked Over the Hedge. God, I've got some good memories of that movie.
Yeah, right?
Oh man,
I can name a ton of moments. It's a good movie.
it's just such a like. I think back in that movie and I just like feel kind of warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah. It occurs to me I haven't seen the majority of these films. I've only seen the first 3 Shreks, and the third Shrek I only saw once.
I don't know if Shrek 3 is a D. I mean, it's down there, probably like in the ballpark, but I wouldn't say like D. D for down there. I would put that one around like a C
I think-
minus too.
After a certain amount of sequels, your movie kind of automatically gets placed in the lower tier,
Yeah,
unless you do something completely like
Star Wars curse.
blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avengers? Question mark. No.
So I don't know why this only goes to D. I feel like it should go one more lower.
Maybe
and that's...
maybe Orion just likes them enough that he doesn't think they suck compared to Pixar films.
Well, I don't think he made this list. I think that this is the
Also
template that he
possible.
used, and I wish I had one more lower because that's where I'd put Shark Tale.
Bravo.
See, I
The
don't.
only thing I remember about
actually-
Shark Tale is the car wash song.
I very vaguely remember. I just hated how everything looks.
Going to the car wash. Car wash, yeah. Oh, the car wash. That's all I remember.
I don't like it when they try and
I remember
merge.
there was a scene where someone is like, da 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 da, can't touch this, and that's it. That's literally my only memory of this film.
I have a great deal of issue.
Oh, it does the Gold Digger song too.
I really don't remember this movie. I just don't.
I
like how it
remember
looks.
only the music. I only remember the freaking like music pop culture references.
Huh. I just don't
Wait,
like
is
how
Anastasia
a lot of
DreamWorks?
these movies have the animals that are. They don't want to commit fully to being anthropomorphic in that they look like people, and they don't want to commit fully to them looking like animals. So it's this weird hybrid that just looks too uncanny valley for me. Like sometimes they pull it off, like the B movie Over the Hedge, most of the Shrek films, Kung Fu Panda, fine. But ants, I don't like ants.
Ants is
doesn't-
weird.
Ants doesn't
Those are
look
some
like a
ugly
good movie.
characters.
Rip.
Shark Tale doesn't look good. I don't like it.
Yeah.
They're very uncanny valley. They make me uncomfortable. Madagascar gets a lot like that too, from what I've seen, but it's not as bad as the other two.
God, I haven't
boy.
seen almost any of these movies.
We're
in the
getting
D
we're
tier.
getting Prentice versus Haley about How to Train Your Dragon 3 in the
Oh, boy.
chat.
Fight,
boy.
fight,
go.
fight.
I've heard that movie was it was a movie.
I think it seems universally agreed that it's at least disappointing. Now,
Dang.
whether it's a good movie or not is up for debate. But I think
It
most
got
people,
pretty good reviews,
most people think it's
but
disappointing.
Huh.
in
Reminds
some
me of a
sense.
show that recently ended.
what are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
It reminds me of Biocraft.
What? How dare you?
It's from what I hear about the movie, it's kind of like the ending is good. It hits emotional beats, but it doesn't earn them because it has a super rushed, forced, awkwardly done plot.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Oh,
That's
Game
what
of
you're talking
Thrones.
about.
Thank you. It took a while. You finally got there.
You had to break down what it was like, what the actual qualities were being compared.
I
then
just,
realized.
I just kind of had a sudden epiphany at the same time you did.
You know, I'm really sorry to anyone out there who actually likes Game of Thrones and
Are
is
you?
upset by its ending.
Are you
but
sorry?
I've been loving all the analytical like breakdown videos. So please know that your suffering fuels other people's enjoyment, and that your despair is just a stepping stone for hope.
Oh, Messa, why?
My favorite my favorite pastime is discovering which YouTubers dislike the ending and how much they disliked it or not.
Tier list.
Like
of how
I didn't
much
realize
decided.
how many YouTubers I follow watch the show at all to begin with. So it was really funny, like seeing, oh boy, Game of Thrones is in the title. I wonder if they liked it or hated it.
I wasn't expecting the Cosmonaut Variety Hour to do a video on it, but it was very entertaining. Apparently, Ralph the
either.
Movie Maker did stuff.
Dude, H3 despised the ending. They were like that.
Huh.
Ethan was completely like just upset. They were talking about how he was just kind of emotionally broken for the day.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, when you invest all this many years of your life into something, and it's so disappointing, it feels pretty terrible, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Bionicle stars.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
My favorite part, though, is videos that go beyond just saying the ending sucks, and they go into like how things have been wrong for a long time now. That's what I find most illuminating, because everyone can pretty much agree on like major talking points about the ending, but there's problems that go deeper. We have to go deeper, and yeah. Point being, that did happen.
All
We
right,
could talk
so
about it, but we're not going to.
this Transformers tier list has a lot of problems. Dark of the Moon is A. Are you kidding me?
Here's
That's-
the Transformers tier list. Number 1 is S, the rest are F.
No, okay, I don't agree there. Okay, here's where I would put everything. Dark of the Moon goes down to B. It definitely isn't an A film. B is honestly kind of generous, if I'm being completely fair here. I don't know why Revenge of the Fallen is C. I think people forget how bad that movie is
Yeah.
because it's been so long. Revenge of the Fallen is really, really bad. It goes to E.
Well, people also look more fondly upon it after the last two, because
No.
all three
They're
of them
wrong.
are like equally
They're
bad.
wrong.
but
They're
Revenge of the
wrong. They're
Fallen is
misremembering.
really
Revenge of the
sick.
Fallen is so much worse than the most recent ones. It's so much worse.
The Last Night was funny.
Yeah, the last night and Age of Extinction, their biggest offense is that they are boring as all heck.
Age
don't
of
do
Extinction is one of the only movies I've like legitimately hated watching.
Yeah, I would put those in D, and I would move Revenge of the Fallen to F, or I guess E for this list. Revenge of the Fallen is much worse. It is so bad in every regard. Not a single thing about that movie is redeemable.
There was that one scene where Shia LaBeouf had to fight the Transformer girl. Remember that? That was like a human Transformer for some reason.
Wow, that was epic.
All right, so Ulti's saying he's gonna fight me if I say this, and I'm ready to fight.
I'll take you all on, nice.
Yeah, you need to go back and watch that film. Okay, that's a good point. I admit there is one thing that is redeemable, and that's the forest fight. It's a really cool fight scene. Anything else ruins the film, though.
Spidey Central in the YouTube chat. If Revenge of the Fallen is anything above Z, I'll riot. Yeah, I mean, the common refrain I've heard to defend Revenge of the Fallen is, well, it's like this quality, but it was made during a writer's strike, versus the other two movies, which were this quality and not made during a writer's
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what was surrounding its development. It's what the actual product is that we're actually reviewing.
The meta.
The meta doesn't matter. The film is terrible. It's
Thank
literally a movie with no script.
Thank you. You said the magic words. The meta doesn't matter.
It is a completely
The meta
aimless,
doesn't matter.
directionless
Nice, man.
hunk of trash.
Goodness.
We should do Transformers viewing things.
Yeah.
I like that one video dismantling Age of Extinction.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now that's comedy gold.
Quality content.
Oh my god, Shia LaBeouf's mom did. She got high on lettuce. I remember that. Those brownies. It's amazing.
Okay.
It wasn't
Usually
actually
Colin
lettuce.
says, which video is that? And were you talking about the Ralph the Movie Maker breakdown?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll get a link.
Oh, dude, that was a good video.
Also, if any of you guys like movies, the aforementioned Orion, you can follow him at Orion_Fallout, which is not actually meant to be a plug. It's a segue for me to mention I've never seen Mission Impossible Fallout, and I really hope I don't like it just to spite Orion.
We should watch it. They played like trailers for that all the time at my Target when it was coming out on DVD, and it looked really
I
impressive.
remember it had that really interesting song.
One
Yeah.
thing I'll give Orion is that he's made me want to watch The Raid.
Yes.
That clip he posted looked amazing.
Really?
Oh,
And Ven's love for it didn't sway you at all?
I've never
I
heard
didn't even know
Van
Vin
mention
had
it
seen
once.
the movie.
Dude, Van
Yeah.
has definitely
I-
talked about it.
I'm
He's
sure
posted
he
links
has.
before.
I'm sure he has, but I've known him for
Not
over 10
anytime
years,
like
and
super
I have
recently.
never heard of that movie until the recent.
He's definitely
John
talking.
Wick.
No,
He might have. I
selective-
also agree with
selective
LJ.
memory. Selective memory.
He might have. I agree with LJ though. I have not once ever associated that film with Vin. I don't recall him ever saying that he liked that.
Well,
film.
I'm sure he has.
Just saying, it is a
Just
thing
don't
if I remember it.
I seem to recall it being from "He Must Not Be Named" rather than Vin.
I don't even remember him mentioning it. I legitimately,
I
would
do
definitely
kind of
not
recall
remember.
that actually.
I legitimately
Yeah.
have no recollection of this movie until the John Wick film came out, and people started talking about it in relation to John Wick 3.
What does it have to do with John Wick 3?
Okay.
I'm so excited for it. Chapter
Very
2.
funny.
It kills John Wick's dog.
Oh no!
Probably.
And part 2 is looking real good right now.
Pennywise, more like Penny Dies.
Penny dies. Oh man, I'm so excited.
It's gonna be a movie. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it will be.
John Wick 3 was pretty good though.
You guys like the
Can't
first
lie.
It?
I never saw
I
it.
did, yes. I was very impressed by it. It did
It
not
part
scare
1
me.
or the original It?
Part 1, not the TV movie.
We
It's
don't
even
talk
movies.
about that.
Doesn't age very
But,
well.
it did
It's
not
pretty
scare
funny.
me.
It's pretty funny.
It did not scare me, but it did creep me out, which is my threshold for whether a movie like that is good or not.
Yeah, it
And,
wasn't too much of like a. It's not like a jump scare movie, but it definitely is pretty tense.
Yeah.
And I like that
does
they
what it
balance
is.
it out though. They just like they have good times to focus on the characters and having fun and all
Yeah.
that without like detract. I mean, like those fun moments are suddenly like balanced out with something like spooky right after. It's pretty good.
I like that. The thing that appeals to me about it so much is that it's actually a story, unlike most horror films, which are just kind of
Yeah.
avant-garde art pieces most of the time, or really bad slasher flicks. It actually does have a legitimate like story, which is kind of cool. That's why I'm excited for Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like scary for the sake of being scary. Like, I mean, there's a lot of horror movies where it just like moves straight into something like bad happening for the characters, and they're just like running away from something unknown until they solve the problem.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
this is kind of just like a threat looming in the background up until like the break point later on.
I also really like it. I like things where characters grow up. I've mentioned this before outside of the podcast, but like it really appeals to me seeing characters age and like tackle bigger problems. Like Harry Potter, for instance, it was really fun to watch like Harry grow and how all the
Yeah.
issues that arise grew and became more serious as time goes on.
the best part of
Naruto
that series.
like watching characters grow there. So I'm like, it seems like it seems like it is
Use
going to
your
be very
words.
fun. Oh my god, I can't speak, dude. Ugh.
It's all right, Var. We're almost over. Or you can
I need to go back to bed.
You can make. I'm going back to bed too after this for like an hour.
I'm gonna die. Anyway, but yeah, like I like that the creature's coming back. He's gonna be even more vicious and stuff. That's cool. I like it.
100%. I definitely want to see it. I want to say, I think we can all get behind this. We should have a Ryan on the podcast to debate movies.
I mean,
Screw that guy. I hate Kopaka.
oh my gosh. I'm fine with having him on if you guys are.
We should sing. We should all sing for you Mission Impossible Fallout. Fake hate it, and then invite him on to debate it.
Why don't we
well,
just...
you can say fake hate it, but you may end up like genuinely disliking it.
Why don't we just...
I only thought it was okay when I watched it. I watched it with him in the theater, and I thought it was okay, and he was kind of disappointed.
I like how I've never interacted with this guy once, but we're like treating him like a TTV member.
Yeah, he's such a community he's just a cool dude.
Just like bagging on him like I would like anyone else here.
Let's
I know.
Let's just watch the movie with him at Brick Fair. We're gonna be seeing him in
Let's do
like
it.
2 months. Let's just go.
Chile Khan says, "Are there any good Illumination movies? The Grinch was pretty good. Not like
Illumination.
quality cinema,
Minions.
but
I don't even know
it
which
had
movies are Illumination and which aren't.
Minions.
Minions and Despicable Me and the recent Grinch and Sing and stuff like that.
Aren't they doing a
Okay.
Mario movie too?
Yes, I'm really worried. I've never seen any of them besides the Grinch, so I don't have the hatred for the Minions that most people do. But I also have no
Yeah.
plans to ever watch the Minions, so it all balances out.
I don't think I've ever actually watched a single one of their movies. But
Check out-
from what I recall, I believe the first Despicable Me was actually pretty good. It just got like
That's right.
marketed through the roof with the Minions. But the movie itself was fine, I think, having never seen it, just
I mean,
from
yeah,
like what I heard.
That's
Yeah.
generally what I hear as well. The oversaturation and the poor quality came afterwards when like the Minions kind of got memed into existence on
Yeah,
a high scale. Point being, yeah, we should have a Ryan on.
Yeah. I'll talk to him about it.
There's one thing I'd like to mention before this podcast ends, not for the sake of having a discussion, but just to kind of update everybody on the
crap, here we go again.
hashtag Threonical movement.
Oh.
Oh no!
So- We have
It'll
a
be brief.
new
It'll be
post.
brief. There's
It'll
not
be
a
brief,
whole lot to
don't worry.
say.
First of all, I don't think we ever addressed the fact that Christian Faber posted on the TTV podcast. I don't think we mentioned that, did we?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Well,
Me?
just in case we didn't, he actually did watch the podcast. So if you hear this somehow after listening to our movie discussion, thank you, Mr. Faber. He watched and was actually like, "Yeah, I'd love to be on your podcast to discuss this project. Just wait maybe a month or so because I'm going to be pitching this to several different groups, and I want to do that first," which I found very interesting. That it was already in a pitchable state. So fair enough. If everything shakes out, we might be able to have Christian Faber on the show in the near future to talk about this some more, which would be absolutely fantastic, and we'd be honored to do that. But until then, all we have to go off of are the Instagram posts, of which there is a new one, so we will give our patented round of brutal, honest critique on it. I am going to post it here in the chat for all of you to check out. It is a very new, very exciting picture that we most definitely have not seen before, let alone several weeks ago, with the caption, "A dream in a shell, working to make it real, hashtag 14B 2020. Everything will be like never before."
That's it.
So, yeah, it's all. It's literally the same picture that was posted a few
So-
weeks ago with a little logo in the top right.
Somebody asked on Reddit, it's like, haven't we seen this picture before? I was like, yes, but now with the logo. I'm telling you,
like-
Faber's opened up a restaurant. He's cooking up nothing burgers.
Mr. Faber, please still consider being on the podcast.
Listen, we're comedy folk. It's all good nature.
It's
The
a
thing-
good nature, not rebellious nature. Sorry.
Okay,
Wow.
very funny. He did release
It's
a
just-
trailer for Rebel Nature.
That's
like
true. He did.
week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and that did elaborate a little more on what the project is. However, we still don't have any hardcore specifics as to the avenues of which we're going to be receiving the content for. But
Here's something
Can we
I find
talk about
interesting.
that comment in the screenshot that you posted?
Sure.
No idea what cryoshell is. What I interpret is the new Jin is finally taking shape in the story and whatnot. Maybe concept art is being made. All I know is my day I made when I see updates. And the hashtag, obviously a date in 2020. Maybe second quarter with that B. Get ready for a real roaring 20.
I'm glad that guy's happy. You know what? I'm glad that dude's happy.
Let's get ready for a real roaring 20s.
I'm very,
the Roaring
I'm very
20s.
happy that he's happy. Oh my
You know what the
god.
Roaring 20s are, right, Var?
Yes.
I'm so confused by this comment. Yeah, I know what the freaking roaring 20s are. Shut up.
For a second, I thought you were gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm impressed, honestly.
TTV Podcast, maybe a second quarter with that B. It's like perfect title.
Boy.
So there's another comment which I found very interesting. So Faber made a post about the recent Lego thing, the Apollo 11, shtick. Someone asked him in the comments, "So are you working for Lego now?" Hashtag 14B 2020, and he freaking responds with a smirk, like winking
The
emoji.
wink.
Oh, man.
What are we supposed to take from this?
He's working on it. That's what I take from it. He's
I
working
mean-
on it. That's the goal.
I mean,
He's not going to substantiate any
Right. He's not going to say
He's
anything one way or the
substantiating
other.
by replying to it in a positive
Well,
with,
to me-
manner.
with vagueness.
What that tells me is that it's not a no. Otherwise, he would have just said no.
mm,
What do you make of this, Elj?
Highly doubtful.
yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but it's not something that I would be like, oh yeah, of course, he's there right now.
Right.
Sex for doubt.
Well, I agree. I that's why I'm like, I don't think it's a no per se though, because like he's not.
In negotiations?
Yeah, he's in negotiations. He's trying. He's talking.
It's complicated.
It's complicated, exactly.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Because if it, he wouldn't say yes if the answer was yes, but he would say no if it was a no.
Quick, someone
Correct.
check his LinkedIn.
No, I did say, are you working for Lego? Or he said he wanted to bring Lego in on his project. I highly doubt that includes
Lego
getting
works
hired
for
by
him.
Lego.
Of course.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like if he actually wants Bionicle to be official,
You would
and
have
sanctioned
to
by Lego,
sign
he
on
would
and
have
sign
to.
it.
Yeah, he would.
Well,
have to.
he was never a Lego employee to begin with.
That's
when he
correct.
did.
Yeah, before, but he also wasn't
He
really
worked.
much
He
of a-
worked with them, not for them.
Yeah.
It would depend on how the theme would be structured, I suppose.
Well, I mean, like it seems like the current plan that he has, he would have more creative control over it than he did before.
That's the hope.
No, Var, the fans, the creative control,
Yeah.
because
Sure.
we're all sailing the waters together.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nothing would go wrong.
I don't know.
All right.
Look, Var, come on, be positive. This is like if Columbus had to prove America was there before he went for it.
Absolutely brilliant.
Master, you gotta reach out to him.
Don't even know how to respond to that one.
I will. No worries.
I was just paraphrasing Faber himself. Sorry.
All right. Well, I think this about wraps up this episode of the TTV Podcast. It's been a varied show. We'll continue to update you with any news if if he posts anything else. But I don't know at this point. We'll hopefully see. Thank you all for checking out our show this week. Every week we give a shout out to someone in the live studio audience, patron chat.
Cha-ching, bada bing.
Cha-ching, bada bing. This week is going to go to... I'm going to try to pick someone who is talking. This week will be Dark Takanuva. So shout out to you, Dark Takanuva.
Derek
Thank you for-
Takanova.
Thank you for
Thanks, bro.
participating. He has the amazing comment, scratched out, I talked with Faber for a bit, and then he stopped responding to me.
Hey,
So there you
that's
go.
generally how all conversations in the public I go. Like, I'm pretty sure he
Faber
reached out to
ghosts
Lego
you.
and he's like, hey, you interested in this? And Lego's like, oh, well, do come into our office. And they never heard from him again.
Yeah, probably.
Check
All
out
right.
a new video coming out on the channel today.
Yes.
Yeah, like right-
We have an
oh,
exciting
oh,
video
snap.
coming out.
Last
Can we go ahead and
second.
like announce that
By
then?
the
if it's
time
gonna
this
be coming out?
episode comes out, the first episode of the new premiere series, Ninjago Autopsy, run by Haley, shall be on the channel. Finally. Officially.
Fine.
And it's going to be great. Months in the waiting with that trailer. You know,
Very
it's
good video.
delivered, and it's an exceptional video, much in the style of classic Bionicle Autopsy. And classic TTV in general. It's a very, like... I think people who have been fans of our content for a long time are going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, and people are like, Ninjago is dead. No, it's just branding.
Zeros
Honest.
posted that, and it's like, what's with the crabs?
Crab rave. Crab rave.
Oh, okay.
It's the GIF with the dancing ass.
Yeah, okay, I get it now.
Wouldn't that be just like poetic justice if the moment we started making Ninjago autopsy videos, Ninjago does legit die?
I mean, listen.
That's like that really is classic TTV right
They're
there.
playing for high stakes with this new season. If their soft reboot fails, it might die.
It's okay. They'll do something successful afterwards, and then we'll finally jump on the bandwagon 10 years later.
Yep.
It's gonna be
That's how it
interesting.
seems to go.
Mesa, before we wrap up, we do have one last second super chat.
Oh boy.
Graciously donated by Adrian G, who donated
Dude, you're a
Thank you so
legend.
much, Adrian.
99 cents with no accompanying no message. No other message.
All right.
So
Well,
thank you very much,
yeah.
bro.
Appreciate the 99 cents, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Price of a pencil.
All right.
Nice of a pencil.
All right.
We will see you all next week for another exciting episode of some podcast. I don't know. Might be Brickfeed, might be
We don't
TTV.
know.
Depends on the news. We don't know. We're doing this like alternating thing because no one really wants to do 2 a week, but we should do 2 a week. But like, it also depends on Lego news, and it's like it's a complex thing.
Subscribe to TTV Nerfed, everybody.
Yes, we are about to reach the conclusion of Dangan 2. Give it like another month or two, we'll be done.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And then Dangan
actually-
3 is coming out, and then we also have another thing in the works. It's currently
We
secret.
do. Yes, but not secret if you join our Patreon. You can check it
Yeah.
out by scrolling through the message history.
And it is not it's not Dangan this time. It's a much more exciting thing.
And
Call of
thankfully,
Duty.
I'm not playing it.
It's a Call of Duty Let's Play. I just spilled the
Okay.
names.
That's
Princess
it,
just said,
Meso.
remember when TTV used to do 3 podcasts a week? And I'm like, no, I try not to.
I remember when we did 4 a week and I was this close to quitting.
It was awful. It was so bad. Dude, the amount of times I was close to quitting.
I came very close. I was being convinced by it by Keeney.
Yeah.
I think if the LJ thing and like the other guy thing, he must not be named, had happened like 1 week later, I probably would be gone.
I came very close to being
Same.
fired.
I was almost out the door.
Same.
Guys, we wanted to end this on a high note, not this.
This is a high
That
note.
is-
This is a high note. This is
quitting.
We're
this is
still here.
we conquered.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
All right, fair.
Yeah, we saw we conquered.
All right.
Now,
Mesa, you tell me when.
you're good.
Wait.
Thank you all.
Wait. Hold on.
Biggie making the epic picture.
Okay, heads up. If you haven't seen Infinity War, Tough Beans coming up. It's
Endgame.
Sorry, yes, thank you. Endgame. There's a little bit of a spoiler. So 3, 2, 1. There it is. Diggy made this.
Bravo.
It's freaking Meso.
It's my hair, I believe.
That's like the best meme ever made.
Okay, Meso, I'm gonna play the
Professor
music
Neck.
Make the time travel variant.
time. Okay, here we go. Music time.
All right. Thank you all for watching this episode of the TTV Podcast. We'll see you all next week. For now, I'm Meso.
I'm Bar.
I'm LJ.
And I'm Envy.
And farewell, everybody! I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and check out Ninjaga Autopsy if you have not already. Eljay worked very hard on it.
Woo! Raise the roof.
Raise that roof. Oldie says Meso time travels to prevent G1's ending. I don't care about G1's ending. I prevent G2's ending.
G2's beginning.
And,
All endings
that was
have
our big
According to
move.
prophecy.
Beginnings waiting to be born.
I only had to go poop once.
Oh my gosh! No! Do not end it like this!
Did it leak? Did it leak?
Shut up! Shut up!
It was very leaky.